Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tatandi Swapatandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapata Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunadhanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishada Ginamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosade Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasude Devi Pranamami Harite Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhe Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshikari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, hope you can see my screen. Just put in the chat. Okay, so we'll start with Jagannath Ratha Yatra today. Very special day. Even throughout ISKCON, it's very special day because of Srila Prabhupada. So there have been some rules, like even Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami were not allowed inside Jagannath Puri. But Lord Jagannath was so merciful, he's Patita Pavan, that he comes out to give darshan to the devotees. So that's the Ratha Yatra day, where people who can't enter Jagannath Puri temple to get darshan of the Lord, to take darshan, he comes outside. So Prabhupada says why he's not being allowed to be seen by all, because he's Jagat Nath of the whole Jagat. So everyone should be given opportunity to see him. But some rules and regulations we can't change. But it's Srila Prabhupada who gave Jagannath to all of us. Now, when Malti Devi Dasi, she got a small doll of Jagannath from one temple, from shop, and put it in front of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's like, Jai Jagannath, and he started offering obeisance. She didn't even know that, she thought it's just a cute doll. Then Prabhupada's like, is there a yellow one and a white one? So bring them. And then her husband, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, carved the Jagannath deities. That's how the first Ratha Yatra in San Francisco happened in 1967. So that's like so famous. It was so famous that Prabhupada was really happy. So many came, and that's how Jagannath, went to the west, Srila Prabhupada. So we are not so fortunate to go to Jagannath Puri to see the Ratha Yatra. So it's so crowded, it's going to be so crowded. But Lord is so merciful that he's coming to us. So Jagannath is not different from Krishna. So even if you take Radha Govinda, that's also Jagannath only. Because Jagannath's bhav is like Krishna in separation from Radharani. But Radha Govinda is also like they are togetherness. It's not Vipralamba bhav, they are together here. Very sweet. But then more intense is the Vipralamba bhav of Jagannath form. But as great Vaishnavacharyas have said, say Krishna, say Gaura, say Jagannath. All three are same. Just the bhav is different. So carrying Radha Govinda or Gaur Nitais, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is again Radharani in separate from Krishna. So the mood is like that. So carrying Krishna or Gauranga Mahaprabhu or Jagannath, it's all the same, one and the same. Okay, it's just the bhav. So Ratha Yatra is basically pulling the Lord towards our heart. Yesterday was Gundicha Marjan, where cleaning of the temple happens. So Mahaprabhu says a heart, Prabhupada says a heart is also like a temple. So we need to clean it by chanting Hare Krishna mantra to welcome the Lord today into our heart. So pulling Ratha means when we pull the rope, we should feel that we are pulling Krishna towards our heart. And Krishna is a gentleman, Prabhupada says. Gentleman doesn't live in the dirty place. So Krishna doesn't like to live in a dirty heart. So we need to clean our heart. All are contaminated, but by the process of Cheto Darpana Marjana, we clean our heart so that we welcome the Lord today. So as Prabhupada quotes, like anyone who participates in the Ratha Yatra, definitely go back home, back to Godhead. So we all actively participate in it. Those who can't participate, don't worry, at least virtually, it's a consciousness. Vrindavan is actually a consciousness. You're pulling the Lord towards your heart. That's how the Ratha Yatra came. And we can't forget Jayananda Prabhu, who actually made the cart for the first Ratha for Srila Prabhupada. So his photo is kept in every Ratha, in front of every Ratha, because his whole life was dedicated to the Ratha Yatra festival. So that's how Prabhupada gave Ratha Yatra to all of us. So basically, many didn't know about Jagannath. Not much famous. Might be in the north, many knows because of Jagannath Puri, but in south, we don't know much about Jagannath. Like one of my friend asked, who's that black one and white one and yellow one? Like they don't even know. The eyes are so big. There's no eyelids for the Lord. So he's so merciful. He always sees the devotees. And why it's so big? Because he magnifies any small service we do. And that's how Jagannath, you can't escape from his view. So going in front of the deities is not for us to take darshan. The Lord also glances at you. When the Lord glances at you, the mercy comes. So we need to go take darshan. So here we can see Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Some of you have already heard this so many times, but I'm just repeating for those who are new. And Krishna's pastimes are always fresh. Nava Yavanam cha. It's never, we can't say it's old. And Krishna also likes to hear about him. So how this particular form came, that is Daru Brahman. He's called Daru Brahman. He came in a wooden form in Kali Yuga. So why he came in this form, particular form, is that when Krishna was in separation from the Vrindavan Vasis, he went to Mathura at the age of 11. Krura came and took Krishna and Balram. So that Krishna wants to do all the other pastimes like killing Kamsa and saving Devaki and Vasudeva and so many things to be done. So Krishna was taken. And then there was a separation from the Vrajavasis. So for 100 years they were separated. Then Krishna went to Dwaraka. He became Dwarakadish, married 16,108 queens, and he was busy there. He never came back to Vrindavan. So after 100 years, there was a function at Kurukshetra where it's a day where there is it's a pilgrim site where people go and take some snana. So at that time, Krishna saw the Vrajavasis, the gopis and Yashodamaya, Nanda Baba, Radharani especially. And then when you see somebody, surprising, your eyes become big. You are so in a wonder in that bhav. So his eyes became so big, and his hands and leg went inside. It's like a kurma form. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dances in front of Jagannath, also he goes to that kurma Chaitanya form. So hands and leg went inside, and the smile became so big. That's that beautiful form. And then Radharani and the gopis saw this cute form of Krishna, and they imagined to put this doll-like form into a cart and pull him to Vrindavan. That's what indicates Ratha Yatra. But then this form was seen by Narad Muni also. So when in Dwaraka, when Krishna sleeps at night, he murmurs, Gopi, Gopi, Radhe, Radhe. He misses all the Vrindavan Vasis. So the queens, Rukmini, Satyabhama, all of them are like, Krishna has everything in Dwaraka, all opulences, everything. But still, why is he missing Vrindavan? Something is so special in Vrindavan. What is so special? So it was Rohini Mata who was there in all the places. She was, because Yashodamaya never came to Dwaraka. It was only Rohini Mata who was in Dwaraka. So she said the pastime. So she told Subhadra, the sister, to stand on the door so that Krishna and Balram should not come and hear the pastime. So she was standing like this. That's why her hand is this side. You can't see Subhadra's hand in front because it's on the sides. So she was standing, and Krishna and Balram Rohini Mata started telling about Krishna's pastime in Dwaraka, and then, in Vrindavan. So everybody were missing, wanted to hear this particular pastime. So Subhadramaya, after hearing this, her eyes also became big. She was also in ecstasy that she forgot that Krishna and Balram were already standing next to her. That's how Subhadra is in the center, Krishna is on the side, Balram is on the side. Now Krishna and Balram also heard about the Vrajavasis pastime, Krishna stealing butter and all that. They were in so much ecstasy that even their eyes became big and the hands and legs went inside. And then Narad Muni saw this particular form, like the doll form of all three of them. And Narad Muni was so happy to see this form. And the Lord said, yes, I'll be appearing in this form soon. So it was in, Jagannath was known as Neelamadhav in Neelachal mountain. So he was there, and Indradumna Maharaj wanted to take darshan. But not everyone were allowed to take darshan of Neelachal Neelamadhav. So Neelamadhav disappeared. And then later on he said, I will appear as Daru Brahman. That's how he came. So we'll start the pastime with the Jagannath Ashtaka, this very famous Ashtaka by Adi Shankaracharya. quickly sing this and then we'll start with the pastimes. Kadachit kalindi nata vipina sangeeta karavo muda piri nari vadana kamala swadana madupa rama shambhu brahma amarapati ganesharchita pado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Bhuje Savye Venum Shirasi Shikipunjam Katitate Dukulam Netrante Sahachara Kadaksham Vidatate Sada Srimad Vrinda Vanavasati Leela Parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Mahambodhe Stire Kanakaruchire Neela Shikare Vasan Prasadanta Sahaja Balabhatrena Balina Subhadra Madhyastha Sakala Suraseva Vasarado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Kripa Paravara Sajala Jalada Shreni Ruchiro Ramavani Rama Spurad Amala Pankerukamukha Surendrai Aradhya Shruti Kanashika Gita Charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Radharuddo Gachan Patimilita Bhudeva Patalai Stuti Padurbhavam Pratipadamupakarnya Sataya Daya Sindur Bandhu Sakala Jagatam Sindhu Sutaya Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Param Brahma Pida Kuvalaya Dalotfulla Nayano Nivashi Niladro Nihita Charano Nanta Shirasi Rasanando Radha Sarasava Puralingana Sukho Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Navayache Rajam Nachakanakamaണിക്യം Vipavam Nayacham Ham Ramyam Sakala Janakamyam Varavadhum Sada Kale Kale Pramadapati Gita Charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Haratvam Samsaram Dhrutataram Surapate Haratvam Papannam Vitatimaparam Yadavapate Aho Dine Nate Nihita Charano Nishitamidam Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me Jagannatashtakam Punyam Yappade Prayatashiji Sarva Papa Vishuddhatma Vishnu Lokam Sagachati. Whoever hears or sings this Jagannatashtakam, Sarva Papa Vishuddhatma, like all your sins get destroyed, Vishnu Lokam Sagachati, you go back to home, back to Godhead. So it's written by Adi Shankaracharya. He is a great devotee. So this is a picture of Neel Madhav, who was in Nilachal Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Bhalabhadra Subhadrapyam Jagannataya Te Namaha. So he was in Nilachal mountain as Neela Madhav, but later on he disappeared and Indradumna Maharaj could not take darshan of Jagannath. And later on what happened, that the Lord told him that he'll be appearing as Daru Brahman. So once Narad Muni came there and helped Indradumna Maharaj. He said, don't worry, I know the deity form, we'll go and get the wood. So they started walking, and it's some places if they say in the ocean the wood came, some places it say in the forest he could see Shankh Chakra Gada Padma. So he said this is the wood on which the deities have to be carved. And so the carving started, and then when the carving was starting, what happened is the Indradumna Maharaj should not open the door, otherwise the carving will stop. So some weeks the work was going on. Suddenly he could not hear any chiseling sound. So he went and opened the door and saw the deities were half carved. There was no hands, legs, nothing. So he was like, this is the form, how can the Lord be without hands and legs? And then Narad Muni said, this is the exact form in which Krishna appears, start worshipping. So then Indradumna Maharaj is the one who actually installed the deities in Jagannath Puri. So that's how what happened in Dwaraka. So in Dwaraka, Rohini Mata started explaining about Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. Hearing that Krishna, Balram and Subhadra was in ecstasy, that the eyes became big, smile became big, and the hands and legs, everything went inside. So this is the beautiful form of the Lord. In Kali Yuga, he appeared like this. He's Patita Pavan, he doesn't take offense. But the bhav, the difference is Krishna in separation from Brajavasis is Jagannath, and Radha Rani in separation from Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why even when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Sachimata said not to go to Vrindavan. He wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Sachimata said, please stay in Jagannath Puri, because Mayapur and Puri is nearby, she can get news. That's just the external reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri. The internal reason, or the secret reason, is that this is the Vipralamba Kshetra. Jagannath Puri is also called as Purushottam Dham or Vipralamba Kshetra. That means Vipralamba is the highest stage of Madhurya Ras. Like Shanta Dasya, Valsalya, Madhurya. In Madhurya, there is the highest rasa. Like when you are with the family, you don't miss them. But when you are separated from the family, you keep thinking about them. So when Krishna in separation from Rajavasis, that's the highest bhav which we can't understand. Only pure devotees can understand that bhav. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri because there it's Jagannath who is Krishna in separation from Radharani. And Mahaprabhu's bhav is Radharani in separation from Krishna. So many get confused why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hugging Jagannath and crying. Both are Krishna, but the bhav is different. We won't be able to understand. That's why when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath, because it's Radharani saying Krishna after separation, and he fell down. He could not even tell Jagannath. He was like Jaga, Jaga, and he fell unconscious. And he dances in front of, all this is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita Leela. So starting of Ratha Yatra was the famous San Francisco Ratha Yatra which Srila Prabhupada gave. So when Malti Devi Mataji's husband Shyam Sundar Prabhu was carving the deities, they don't know much about Jagannath. They were just carving and all. So he had this bad habit of smoking. So he was carving, he's a very good carpenter, he was carving Jagannath. Jagannath was painted and almost done. He kept a packet of cigarette on top of Jagannath and he was carving. So Prabhupada came and Prabhupada didn't scold or anything. Prabhupada's like, don't allow a packet of cigarette to come in between you and Krishna. So he is like, oh yeah, Prabhupada is telling me to quit smoking. So then Ratha Yatra started. And after the Ratha Yatra, or before that, what happened? There was a streets Nagara Sankirtan happening. Prabhupada was in one of the park and sitting and chanting. So the devotees got Jagannath and put him in the floor, in the sand area. So Prabhupada's like, this is not the way to take the Lord. Never take Lord outside, except for Ratha Yatra. Don't carry the deities outside. But then Jagannath is so merciful. He went to the west. No? The foreigners are not allowed into Jagannath Puri, but Jagannath crossed the ocean and went inside their house. Even if you go around ISKCON devotees' houses, almost many have just Jagannath deities, and they are worshipping, offering bhog. So Chappan Bhog is so famous. So this is how Jagannath Ratha Yatra happens. So first there is a Snana Yatra where Jagannath is given a lot of bathing and all, and it's imagined that the Lord goes sick and that darshan is closed for some time and he is on liquid diet. But after that, to encourage the Lord, all the devotees come together after that period of lockdown for the Lord, and they welcome him. They pull them to the Gundicha temple, and there the Lord will be there for 1 week, and again he go back, the return Ratha Yatra. So this is whoever pulls the Ratha, it's like the consciousness should be, I'm pulling Lord to my heart, don't let him outside. So once you put a crooked stick inside a bottle, you can't take it out. Krishna is like that. He's Tribhanga Lalita. He's a crooked person. So you put him in your heart, he won't come out. So the Ratha Yatra is basically pulling him towards your heart. And Srila Prabhupada's father also encouraged so much. When Prabhupada was just 5 years old, Gaur Mohan De, Prabhupada's father, he was Abhay Charan at that time, encouraged him by building a small cart, calling all the kids from the neighborhood, and Rajani, his mother, made prasadam, and he had a small Ratha Yatra when he was at the age of 5 years old. And hardly anybody knew that this was the personality who's going to take Ratha Yatra all over the world. So that's how Prabhupada's life changed. So this is a very nice lesson for all the parents to encourage kids. Prabhupada says they can play with Jagannath and the soft toys, and that's how they develop that love towards Krishna. So even in young age, Prabhupada was brought up in a Vaishnava culture, and he always thanked his father and mother for, especially his father, because his father always says that my son should become a great devotee of Radharani. He just doesn't say he should be a lawyer or engineer or something like that. So Prabhupada's father always asks all the saints to bless Prabhupada, saying that please let my son become a great devotee of Radharani. So that's why Prabhupada's father didn't allow him to go to the West to study his college and all. But his mother wanted him to become a barrister. Like that we know what story happened in Prabhupada. So this is the first San Francisco Ratha Yatra. It was so huge. Prabhupada was so happy. He was, even though he had a stroke and his health was not good, he was jumping in ecstasy because Mahaprabhu's prediction was coming true. Prithivitya Cheyado Nagaradegram Sarvatra Prachar Hoya Moranam. So every part of the town and village, Krishna's holy name was chanted. Prabhupada was so happy. So the main thing in Ratha Yatra is that you throw prasadam, people get prasadam, and everyone came and started dancing. So there's so much glories about prasadam of Jagannath. The Jagannath is offered chappan bhog. It's very special that those who have come to Puri with us, they know we had like great treat of prasadam directly from the temple. So this is cooked in great earthen pots, and they kept one after the other, and it's like firewood cooking. And the pot which is on the top gets cooked first. The whole pot is offered in front of Jagannath. So there's a chappan bhog. So chappan means 54, 56. So why that 56 came, you know? Why not 54 or 55? Why 56 items? Okay, that's one way of putting it, half of 108. Not exactly, but there's a reason why. I think some online devotees know. Yes, Sonia Mataji. Why 56?
Hare Krishna Mataji, like Mataji, very happy Jagannath Rath
I can't
Yatra
hear
to
you,
you
Mataji.
all. Yes, now you can hear me? Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, you can hear me?
I'm not able to hear.
You can hear me? Hare Krishna
Can you hear
Mataji.
me, Mataji?
Yes, for 7 days, Mataji, 7 days.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, for 7 days, Krishna was not eating food when he was at the Govardhan holding the mountain. So Yashoda Mata, she felt that all these 7 days which he has missed the meals, she made all the meals, which was 56 meals, that was offered to him.
For 7 days, Krishna missed the meals. But how many times did he miss one day?
In a day, 3 times, Mataji.
8, okay. 7, 8, 56, no? So one day, Krishna eats 8 meals. Yeah? So 7 days he missed, because 7 days and night Krishna was holding Govardhan hill and everyone were having a lockdown. So she could not feed. So Krishna, seeing the Radharani especially, he was shivering with ecstasy, but as a mother, Yashoda Maya is in Yoga Maya, covers her. She doesn't know he's the Supreme Personality Godhead. She thinks that if I don't feed my son, he's going to die. So she was like, my son has become so weak. Let me feed him all that 7 days ka 8 times bhog. So 7 into 8, that is 56. So 56 items were offered to Krishna after the Govardhan Leela. So that's followed in Jagannath Puri, that 56 items, just imagine, it keeps coming and going. Anybody who goes to Jagannath Puri will definitely get the prasadam. Even the dogs or any animal who goes, because that's a specialty of Jagannath Puri. And Jagannath is so merciful to give prasadam. So this is a specialty of Jagannath prasadam. So all of you should definitely at least once go and have that Mahaprasadam of Jagannath. So we can't forget, this picture is not so clear. This is Jayananda Prabhu. So Jayananda Prabhu is the first person to build the Ratha for the cart, and then his whole life he used to travel all part of the world to give them instructions on how to build a Ratha. Okay, and there's some pastime of Jagannath. So there is some devotee called Bandhu Mohan De. He was very poor, very poor, and he could not even feed his family. So he told them that we'll go to Jagannath Puri. So his wife thought, okay, he might have some friend. He's like, I have a friend there. That friend will take care of us. Yoga Kshema Mahame. He had so much faith in the Lord that he took his family and went to Jagannath Puri. And in Puri, what happens? We know how Raghunath Das Goswami used to eat the food which was so old. Even cows won't eat it, but he used to take it and wash it and eat. So that side, where the Goshala side, some old prasadam will be there. So Bandhu Mohan they went and started eating from that. Jagannath could not tolerate this. So from the altar, when everyone slept, he came out as a Brahman boy, and in a golden plate, Jagannath was offered bhog in golden plate. In the same plate, he gave a big feast to Bandhu Mohan De. And he said, you have it. He came as an old Brahmana. He said, you have it. I'll come back for the plate later. But he didn't come. He's the Lord. He didn't come. And the plate was like he was keeping in his bag. So next day, the pujaris could not see the golden plate. And they were so suspicious about this family who were around the temple for the night. So they told him and the king that he is the robber. And those days, the king used to punish like death sentence, like you're killed if you're doing some sin. So they were arrested and put in the jail, and the Lord comes in the dream of the king. When in Orissa it was Prataprudra Varma that time, so he used to get the dreams. The pujari's main pujari will get the dream. Jagannath comes in the dream and said, "It's not them, it's I who gave the prasad. They are my devotees. So from now on, Bandhu Mohan they should be maintained by the temple," and the temple started maintaining them. And we also know how Bhaktivinoda Thakur, being the magistrate, the Ratha Yatra used to come and stop in front of his house. So one day it came and the Ratha didn't move for 3 days. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife took the six months old baby and went inside near the Ratha, and the baby started touching the feet of Jagannath. That was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Jagannath's garland fell on the baby. And then the Ratha started moving. So even when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance in front of Ratha, sometimes the Ratha will stop because Jagannath will be in ecstasy, he won't move. And the Lord can become lighter than the lightest, heavier than the heaviest. Anima, Mahima, Legima, Siddhis. Some 8 elephants, so many elephants come and full the Radha won't move. But Mahaprabhu goes and just touches his forehead on the Radha moves. Krishna can become so light. So that's how Jagannath manifested. And Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy. Yeah. Yes, Neeraj Mataji. Okay. So once what happened? How did the Jagannath Mahaprasadam come? So once Lord Vishnu said to Lakshmi Devi, "Don't give my Mahaprasadam to anybody. Only you should have." Okay. And the next day, Narad Muni, knowing this, he likes to do nice pastime. Narad Muni came and asked Lakshmi Devi, "Please give me the remnants of Mahavishnu. I don't want any other boon." So Lakshmi Devi is like, "No, I can't give you because Lord Vishnu said not to give my Mahaprasad to anyone. Now what to do?" Now she's in Delhi, like what to do? So, but Narad Muni asked for it. So she went and she was very upset, and Lord Vishnu came to know this. So Lord Vishnu said, "I can't take my words back. So you do one thing. When I'm taking my Mahaprasad, let some destruction comes to me. And when I turn my face, you take the prasad and give to Narad Muni." So Garuda came, and Garuda from behind called the Lord, and the Lord turned, and Lakshmi Devi took the prasad. We actually did this drama in Jagannath Puri. We devotees, we did. It was nice. So then Narad Muni was given the whole plate of Mahaprasad. So Narad Muni was in ecstasy. And he doesn't need any visa or ticket. He can go to different planetary system. So he had the whole plate of Mahaprasad, Narad Muni, and started dancing in ecstasy. He went to Kailas. So when he reached in Kailas, Lord Shiva was looking Narad Muni. It's like, "Narada, what happened to you? You're jumping in ecstasy. What's the matter?" Narad Muni is like, "Today I got the Mahaprasad of Lord Vishnu." And Lord Shiva, Vaishnavana Meda Shambhu, he's a great devotee. Even he wants that Mahaprasad. So he's like, "Narad Muni, I hope you kept little for me." And it's like, in the ecstasy, I had the whole prasad. Sometimes we are like that. Some Nirjala Ekadashi, we take everything and keeps. Then he started checking his hands. There was one morsel of rice inside his nail. So Narad Muni took that and gave to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva had it, and he started doing Tandavan. I mean, when Lord Shiva dances, the everything shakes. So Vimla Devi is Mother Parvati. She came and she saw Lord Shiva dancing. She's like, "What's the matter? Why are you so much in ecstasy?" So he said, "I got one morsel of Mahaprasad." And she's like, "We are Ardhanarishwari. Like wherever we are, we are together. That one morsel, you could have made it half and give me half. I'm your wife, no?" But Lord Shiva, now you can't do anything. He already had it. So Mother Parvati was so angry, so angry. She is the Durga Devi of this material world. She started burning the whole world, all the 14 planetary system with her anger. Lord Vishnu know this, and he came just a pastime, and he said, "What's the matter?" So Vimla Devi or Mother Parvati said, "I didn't get Mahaprasad. Narad Muni had, Lord Shiva had, I didn't get." So he's like, "Don't worry, I'll give you." She's like, "No, I want for my sons also." So she have 2 sons, Ganesha and Shanmukha. Then Lord Vishnu is like, "I'll give to both the sons." She's like, "No, the whole world is, entire universe is my children. Like, she's the material nature, she's the mother for us." So he's like, so Lord Vishnu is like, "Okay, I'll appear as Daru Brahman, as Jagannath, and I'll fulfill all your desires. I'll give Mahaprasad, I'll be famous for Mahaprasadam, and I'll feed all the devotees who come there." So that's how the Mahaprasad came into being. And once it is offered to Jagannath, it goes to Vimla Devi. She is next to Jagannath, and then it becomes Mahaprasad. First is Prasad, then it becomes Mahaprasad after offering to Vimla Devi. That's how Jagannath Prasad is so famous, and there's so much mystic, some miracles in the Puri temple. It says that no birds fly above the temple, and there's no ocean nearby, but the sound of the waves doesn't come inside the temple. Outside the temple, you can hear. Then the flag waves in the opposite direction of the wind, and the flags get changed every day. It's so huge. The flag is so huge, and the prasadam. How much ever less people come, the prasadam is correct. More people come also, the prasadam is still there. So much mysteries are there about Jagannath temple. Only Krishna knows. And then the chakra. There is a Sudarshan chakra on top. We also tried that. We went to different parts of the temple and saw the chakra was facing you. The chakra never faces the opposite way. It's always facing you. Some 7 wonders. I think I have it. So there's a Jagannath Puri temple. The flag is so famous. The flag. The 7 wonders of Jagannath Puri Dham. The flag always flap in the opposite direction of the air. From any place in Puri, you will find the Sudarshan Chakra facing to you. So when Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Haridas Thakur were not allowed inside the temple, they used to pay obeisance to the chakra. Because seeing the chakra is like taking darshan of the Lord. So the chakra faces you in any direction. Normally in day air comes from sea to land, in the evening the opposite way, but in Puri it's totally opposite. No birds or aeroplanes fly above the temple. Why? The shadow of the main dome is not visible at any time in any direction. Usually at 12 o'clock the shadow is not possible, but otherwise in the evening there should be shadow, but the shadow of the dome is not seen. And the quantity of food cooked inside the temple remains same for the entire year. The same prasadam can be fed for few thousands or 20 lakhs of people, never get wasted. And in Jagannath temple, the kitchen, the 7 pots are kept, earthen pots on firewood, and that's a process of cooking. And the first pot get cooked first and the bottom last. Okay, so this is the different pastimes or the wonders of Jagannath temple. So it was Prataprudra Varma, the king, who was actually, you can see, sweeping the Jagannath floor on the type of Ratha Yatra. So Prataprudra, even though being a king, he came and did menial service. So any service that's done to Krishna is always glorious. And Mahaprabhu personally gave him darshan. So these are the pastimes of Lord Jagannath. He's so merciful, but he's in separation from the Vrajavasis, and he's so merciful that he don't even sleep, he don't even blink, he doesn't have an eyelid. So Lord Jagannath is more merciful. So we should understand Radha Krishna is always in togetherness, but in separation, when Krishna is in separation from Radharani, he becomes Jagannath, and when Radharani is in separation from Krishna, he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So all three are same, the bhava is different. So today is the day where we pull Jagannath to our heart, because it's Ratha Yatra. So all of us, at least okay, so today let's welcome the Lord into our heart. Let's clean our heart with Harinam, chant more. Those who can visit nearby temple, go. At least those who are in Mangalore, please come here. We'll have a nice kirtan and dancing in front of Jagannath and pull the Ratha. Even if it's raining, it's okay. So we have to do it, and because that's more glory to pull the Ratha at least once. And there'll be kirtan and arti and Mahaprasad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Patita Pavan Shri Jagannath Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. I need to go. So any questions, we'll take it later. Okay. Thank you for joining. Vanchakalpadarupascha kripa sindhubhe evacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Kodi Vaishnava ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Happy Ratha Yatra. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.